traveled east to west to hypnotize the women he met beneath a blindfold in a tent. His heartbeat raced, taking in their scent. The great Thurston, that runaway kid got his start the day the circus came and stole his heart. The rising cards made him a star. His floating lady performed for czars.
Second, the problem of reliability. Could a computer be designed to withstand all the stresses of flight?
Even the arrival of the iron horse and the Industrial Revolution did not substantially change methods of food preparation.
But it won't last, and when you come down, you'll be in the depth of depression.
Yeah, because I don't have like any formal intro. I just start.
Yeah.
And we get to the stuff. People can figure it out. It's like, just watch.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'll get there.
And if you can't, just fill in the blanks.
And if you can't, I know. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's kind of like the Mark Maron show where we talk and then we say, wait, are we recording?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. Oh,
yeah.
Who are you? Let's make this official. It's okay. Because as you saw in that little thing I showed, the name will be in giant letters right there. And I will also do a bio on YouTube. And we're about to spread this to a bunch of other platforms.
Great.
We're going to be doing that next week.
Well, before you do, let me, I'll send you something that crafts, me collaborating with Chuck and our friend Eric, who's not here, but just, it'll be something that, that sort of ties together.
Perfect.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Does that sound good to you, Chuck? Yeah.
Yeah. Because all those things we can use. I just wanted to show you an example of how a lot of times at the very beginning of a video, we'll have some live something or other.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do that thing with Jeff. Mm-hmm. And then boom, we're talking.
The whole thing, or just like a little
just part of it.
Yeah, a little part of it.
Just use a few seconds.
He was on that night, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah,
I've never seen that, and I thought 2 years before he passed.
It was a year. That was 6
year?
months. Yeah,
Oh.
like 6-8 months. He passed short,
wasn't it? Not 97.
No, it was 96. So I think that was maybe his last one. And as far as a rehearsal, there wasn't. We were on that bill with them. We covered that song, and talking to him like, hey, so we play Fire Spirit. Would you be up for doing it? He's like, yeah, sure. Wow. And then that was literally, and then he just kind of walked away. Yeah. And then as you knew Jeffrey better than I did, and you kind of go, okay, I think that's a yes. And then we're getting ready. We're like, oh, I think we're going to do it. And where is he? And all of a sudden he just appears like a wizard out of nowhere. Yeah. And then he puts down his bag with all his stuff in it and grabs the mic and then
just does it.
Yeah. And then later that night, he almost got into a fist fight with Kim Shattuck from the Muffs and Ronnie from the Muffs. There was this kerfuffle with them. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Ronnie said, "Fuck you, you Sam Kinison looking motherfucker," and grabbed him. And Jeffrey scurried off. I think he was looking up. They might have been like checking out Kim's. She was rolling around the stage, and there was like he was kind of
staring like everyone else in that place was doing.
Exactly. Yeah. But he was Jeffrey and they didn't for some reason. It was, I know, exactly. Yeah. All that. All the stuff.
I know. Poor Jeff. I mean, he wasn't a fighter type dude at all.
Yeah.
But, he sure knew his shit.
He knew he went back to that song because the one thing he said was, he goes, well, could we do it in the style of Japanese noise like the Boredoms, the song Fire Spirit? And I go, no. I mean, we could, but we kind of know it like we kind of do it just like the record. It's literally like, it'd be like karaoke.
Let's just stick to that.
Yeah, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So that he did try to, because I think at that time he was really into, that was his like, towards the last part of his, his last days where he was really into Japanese, rock and
stuff.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's what he did. He would go, get into this. Suddenly he discovers John Coltrane. So how can we do this John Coltrane style? Well, we can't, Jeff. It's not possible. Well, we'll try it anyway. Okay, we'll see what happens. So we did, Love Supreme as one of the opening gambits. And but he just did that. I don't know. I've thought about it for a million years. How, if he had just been able to get help, he didn't want it, but had he done so, or let's just say, had he been healthy, period.
Yeah.
That guy, I don't know how many albums he would have written and released by now. Probably another 10. It just kind of flew out of him. So
Yeah.
it sucks. I mean, I had plenty of disagreements. Quit the band twice, came back.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. I was 14, I think, and I went and saw Sparks at the Santa Monica Civic, 1982.
Yes.
Just getting out of hardcore and looking into other forms of
sure.
music that was a little less, punky and nonviolent. And Sparks checked all the boxes with their Angst in My Pants record. So I get a ticket, and Gun Club opens. I don't know if you have any memory of this.
I do.
And Jeffrey is everywhere but center stage. He's hiding behind amps, and he's hiding over here and running around. And he's got a little thing of Southern Comfort. And you guys are all, and I have pretty good memory of that show for some reason. And it was like, wow, this man is like, he's really unhinged. And the band was just holding on for their dear lives. Do you have any memories?
Yeah.
Do you have any
You were
memories
right
of
on
that?
with that
Yeah.
observation.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. My first memory is, why the fuck were we doing it?
Yeah. Why did you do it? What was?
If you get a booking agent, they just throw that stuff out there. And back then, you could tell, you could say to people or say to bands, well, yeah, I mean, they're only paying you $300, but think of the exposure. And it's exposure to Sparks fans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that going to get us? How much further forward will we actually go?
Yeah.
But it's true, though. There'll be a few people that are intrigued by you and, whatever. And that's kind of how they did a lot of things. I saw the Ramones open for Black Sabbath in 78, I think it was. And my God, those Black Sabbath fans wanted nothing to do with the Ramones. That's back when glass was still sold, glass beer bottles.
Oh, wow, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All the bottles ended up on stage,
Where was that at? Do you remember?
It was a big place. No, I don't. Long Beach Arena, might have been. And it was rough, but they probably got some fans in spite of that, and it's somebody's genius idea. So I don't know. It was still a fun show doing that thing with Sparks. They were quite friendly.
Yeah. Were you a fan of Sparks before,
Yeah,
pre-punk?
I was.
Because I know they certainly drew a big in L.A.
Yeah.
Of course, Earl Mankey and Jim and
So you said you were how old?
I am 57.
But I mean, you were 14.
I was 14 then. Yeah, so in 82 or so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when did you pick up a bass?
For about 3-4 years later. So yeah, Chuck and I are the same age. So I'd say around 85, 86, started picking up bass, and then started the band Possum Dixon in 89, and had that for 10 years before I bailed out, and then fell into magic and acting and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the window. 89 to 99 was like that weird spot before grunge. We talk about it a lot because it was weird.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I'll start, but jump in wherever,
I'll jump in.
Introduce your friend.
Oh, Chuck Kelley's here.
Chuck Kelley.
Hi,
Yes.
Chuck Kelley. Hi. Oh, am I supposed to talk about myself?
Yes, you are. Well, you've
Okay.
got 5 minutes.
Well, I'm in this
No.
group with this musical group with Rob. Since he's world famous,
True.
it's called Zabrecky.
Yeah. Makes sense.
For this is our first single. Now this is the second single, which is freshly out, and now it's Zabrecky and the Youth Teen Action Singers.
Wow.
So I guess I'm a youth teen action singer.
Well, clearly, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Yeah, we know that.
You all actually are.
So I don't know. This is kind of my first. Well, I mean, other than being in some like little itsy bitsy bands in the '80s, this is my comeback.
And
right?
what do you do on stage?
I don't do anything on stage because we're not musical performers. This is not a performing act. This is a recording thing.
What do you do in the studio?
I play guitar and keyboards.
Yeah.
And write kind of
real
the music.
Yeah, he's like
I'm a real musician, but I'm really not a real musician in that I'm terrible at everything. But thanks to technology, I can. Our other
I don't
friend
know.
Eric.
If you're associated with Rob, I bet you're pretty good.
He's
I'm just going to say.
He's at least
What do you think,
Shag's
Rob?
level.
Yeah, I'm Shag's level.
Check level.
But you can turn the Shags into Rush.
That's
now.
right.
That's what's
True.
so amazing.
The third member of our little group is his name's Eric Bonners, and he really talented drummer, but also he knows how to. Chuck will play some 30 things, and he'll go it's that, and he can hear the little seed of something that's great, and then make it sound good, and then we build music, kind of build it in the studio that way, as opposed to just get in a room and jamming out stuff like how we used to.
I mean, I wish we could jam out things sometimes, but
Well, it's still fun. Still, it's a
It
creative
works. Yeah,
process. Even if
definitely.
you're doing that, I've done that too. I've got a lot of. I don't know them too well, but it's really fun to play with that stuff because you've got total control and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now more than ever.
You just hear like some sort of little noise, and you can like kind of emphasize the noise. Any sort of mistake, because the magic is always in the mistakes anyway, right?
So what was that? What was that?
Oh, I like that.
Do that 4 times.
Yeah.
And then the other thing 4 times, and then
So every Saturday morning we get together at Eric's house and we work on our little recording project.
Well, and these two being the result.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
They're yours.
The other one is
there you
the first one, Our Magic, is there you go. I kind of like to think of it as a version based on the idea of like people who died from Jim Carroll, or 88 lines about 44 women, and it's this narrative of like you're talking about people in the sort of their demise or the subversive sides of them. So one of them is about magicians, and then that one, Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, based on the sort of 1965 horror film. I don't know. Do you know that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a crazy,
Wow.
crazy short film, and then the Fox Sisters is the B-side, and about the girls that started the seance movement in 1848 in Hydesville, New York. And they kicked off the seances of the 1920s because they had a mysterious visitor in their bedroom, somebody knocking, Mr. Splitfoot they called him, and he would knock once for yes and twice for no. And this is in 1840. This is like almost Civil War times, right? So then seances take off. They're in the White House. Mary Todd Lincoln's having seances. She lost her sons to typhoid fever, so they're like all the rage. Like let's contact Grandpa, see where he buried the money. That kind of stuff. And then by the 1920s, everyone's doing seances, and Harry Houdini comes along, master magician, and he hates these people, thinks they're all crooks, because he realizes his mother dies in 1913. He starts to go see these mediums and psychics and realizes that they're all crooks, and they're all using magic tricks to contact his mother. So he hates them, and he starts exposing them. So that's been the kind of the fodder for lyrics and some of the stuff we've been working on. And Eric is also a magician, musician. So Chuck every weekend is
I'm not a magician,
but he's now subjected to
I'm a
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Where I was like, hey, this thing's happening. Magic's like a subculture, like music,
Yeah.
And there's always a lot to talk about. So I'm apologizing.
I enjoy the conversations.
I sometimes wonder if he's just suffering us because it's
something I put up with.
Yeah, he puts up with
2
it.
hours.
Well, I mean, imagine there's a lot of other things you could be doing, but to be in that room when that's going on from some very intelligent people, you're kind of lucky.
I know.
It's something.
Say
I mean,
very
it's
fortunate.
something.
Yeah.
It's something, but it's fun, is what it is, and it's a 2-hour block. We're out by 12. Noon comes, and everyone's got to other stuff going on. It's the weekend, and
Eric's got to watch football.
Eric's got priorities. Yes,
Okay.
he's he's got the TV is like on at 12:01. But it's fun, and we've had a great last couple of years. We had a blast doing it, and no live shows. It's all we put them out. WFMU New York plays, KXLU, KCRW. We get little spins here and there.
Are you
on
thinking about a live show?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, it's not really a priority.
to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really something that
We did a video
we did.
for the first
Yes.
for the first record,
Yeah, Our Magic. Yeah.
Our Magic, which we made it. We didn't make it, but
Is this the one you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
fuck. I love that.
Thank you.
That's so creative.
Thank
it's
you.
so fun.
Yeah,
forgive
thank
us. It was made with AI.
you. Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
so what?
the AI is, it's like the
AI is
dirty
just a
word
tool.
now. I know.
It's a
I know.
dirty
Everybody
word.
hates it, but and I I don't want it taken over anything, and I think there's going to be quite a backlash. But if you just use it as a production tool,
Well, so that's I'll add to that. So David Kelley is the guy direct. It was a friend of Eric's, and he said, "Look, I want to take a stab at making this video. It's going to be AI, but here's how I use AI. I don't let it use me, I use it.
Yeah,
So most
that's
people
right,
go,
right.
they plug in, oh, Trump riding a turd in a cloud over hell, and
I saw that one.
Yeah, of course, it's awesome, and that's a good one. But a lot of
Yeah.
times it's not. It's this crude version of it, and this guy really dialed in a lot of specific things and put in some green screen with Chuck and Eric and I, kind of
Yeah.
writing out this magical fantasy of whatever it is, and so it actually turned out pretty. We're happy
it's
with
like,
it.
It's subservient to the greater artistic idea that you guys have, and so therefore, it's acceptable. I think it's okay.
Thank you. That was exactly, we accepted it on those terms that you just said.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because anybody that watches just pure AI give me a 30-second scene, it looks like it. It's kind of obvious, and I know they keep saying, "Well, it's going to get to a point where you can't tell." Not so sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably will, but it's going to have to be labeled as such. And I think that I don't think it's going to take over anything.
Yeah.
Anybody that tries to put a movie out that's completely AI, unless it's on Hallmark Channel or something,
Right.
I mean, nobody's going
And
to.
those feel like AI anyway, because the
Yeah, I know,
the
they
acting is,
already
it's
are.
also robotic and everything's so sort of generic and non-specific, and you're like,
Yes.
it's-
AI is actually pretty dumb, I think.
In some ways, yes, it actually
Yeah.
is.
It's not smart. I mean, it hasn't read every single book
Yeah, it's,
or anything.
you know.
It's just kind of compiled things over the past 20, 30 years,
it's not
right?
It's not gonna take over. I
So
hope not. So okay, so let's go back.
Yeah.
To let's go back to the year 1989. So you're playing bass, and you're living here, right?
Yeah, I was
Southern
born and raised
California.
in Burbank. Yeah, the
you
whole
go.
thing.
All
So I'm in LA at that point, 21. Born and raised in Burbank, and then started seeing bands in Hollywood as a teenager and obsessed with music and stuff, and really kind of wanted to. My whole goal in life was just to be in a band that was doing stuff, looking up to seeing the decline of Western civilization, say 1980 or 81. I saw it at the Egyptian when it was still on Hollywood Boulevard as a 13-year-old, and that was like, what's that, right? Just like you really had stars in my eyes about the subculture of music and what all that stuff was. So that had a real big impact on me, as did a ton of stuff in the 80s. But that would led up to moving to Hollywood and really getting full time into
So
music.
that's what you did. So you actually moved to Hollywood, and you just went out to shows, and you just
all
met
of it.
people, and
Next
thing you know,
Yeah.
So you started Possum Dixon. Was that all?
Yeah, that was
your-
80. That was my band in 1989, and we were also at the same time. There was a little spot called Jabberjaw, which is a coffee house down on Pico, and it had a real time in sort of indie rock. Chuck would remember this, and we had early members like Pat Smear would have been coming there, Don Bowles, a lot of the first wave punk. Christian Hoffman was down there doing stuff, and it was a nice hodgepodge for bands to kind of come up. Red Cross was kind of in that world, and then Nirvana played there, and that kind of put it on the map. It was like, wow, this is an important place.
Sure.
It was in the LA Weekly listings, and then it became a mecca for what became known as indie rock. Before that term didn't exist.
Yeah, it did,
was,
right,
It was
right.
alternative. You were alternative, right?
alternative.
The Gun Club would have been alternative,
Yes.
or cowpunk. But
They call
now
it
because indie it's this blanket term for what came. And so I saw the rise of all that, and then got on Interscope Records and made a few records and toured and stuff like that. And then the demise of just the cliches of all bands, we fell victim to that, and bailed out in 1999 and moved on to other stuff.
So that lasted a full 10 years.
10 years. I got 10 years out of it. It was like and it died after about 5 years. You know, as a musician, like there's always a few years where you're still hanging on by a thread, going, "What am I doing?"
Right.
But
Well, it's hard.
It's
to
hard.
stop.
Yeah.
You get that momentum going.
Yeah. And then stopped altogether. And then it was, this is where I'll loop us. I think our connection was then a few years after the band Possum Dixon disbanded. I knew Ward Ward Dotson, your guitar player, Fire Love, Gun Club, lived in Silver Lake, and his old band, Liquor Giants, on Matador Records. We did some shows together, really friendly. And we'd cover in half that record, Fire Love. We just crank them out, and Ward would join us sometimes to play Sex Beat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was someone's idea in the, I want to say early aughts, to do Gun Club tribute with yourself, Ward, Rob Ritter passed. I think I filled that space.
Yeah.
And then we did some shows with, I remember it was like John Doe, Exene. They were singing song Christie, coming up and singing those, honoring Jeffrey's legacy after he was gone,
Right. And then we did
Black Cat? Is that the? Oh wait, go ahead.
Red Cat.
Red Cat.
Yes.
Sorry, Red Cat.
At the Disney
Yes.
Hall. Because
Yes.
that thing, because I had met Allison Anders, the movie director, and her daughter
Tiffany. Of
did.
course,
Yeah, Tiffany did. They were. I think that's when they started Don't Knock the Rock,
Yeah.
their own film music related festival.
Yes.
Which is really cool and fun and then I came back out here in 2006, I guess, or 7. I can't remember now. To talk to photographers about my book, try to get some stuff because I was just putting that together.
I remember all of it very well.
Yeah.
Yes, of
And
course.
then
That's when it was 2000. So it was 2006.
That's when the idea, yeah,
It was
was like-
2006. I know Allison and Tiffany were. There was also, now I'm remembering, there was a screening of, there was some kind of gun club documentary.
yes.
But they couldn't, and you'll know more about this. There was zero gun club music in it.
yes.
Please.
Right.
I want to hear about that.
Yes, because I knew Kurt, who did the film, and he was I hope I don't get too many details there. He was an ex of Allison's, but years before, but they were good friends, and so one person, we're all 2 degrees separated anyway. So I meet her, and then we move in together, and then there's Kurt and I'm doing the documentary, and so Ward is still in Silver Lake, and so we were feeding off each other's bitterness and rancor about our experience. And I
love that there's a waft to it. You're like, ooh, it's all just swirling.
It was
all the bad stuff.
shared.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I just feel like it wasn't fair, really. Ward was feeling it for sure, and I understood exactly where it came from. But anyway, so all these connections were being made, and so why don't we do this show? How are we going to do it? Who's going to sing? So then somebody came up with the idea, well, we'll just have different lead singers do a couple songs, because I guess there's some precedent. It had been done before to some degree like that.
Yes.
And I didn't live here. I was living in Texas.
That's right.
So I didn't know.
The first round was actually, Byron Reynolds from Possum Dixon was doing your parts on that records. And it proved to be a thing. And we did a couple like Ringling Sisters benefits where we're getting, these guests, Chris D, Exene, whoever, Falling James, Leaving Trains. I think Rollins might have done one. It was a real interesting cast. But it proved to be like, hey, this music is special and magnificent if you get the right person. And Christian Hoffman even came out from the Mumps, and he had through a falsetto version of I can't remember what tune, but he was there. There's some picture of us floating around of him. He came over and laid a kiss on me. We'll insert that right here, maybe. But he
loves posting that picture.
Every few years he posts
media.
that, and I'm kind of like just accepting this. Like
he's very proud.
Just a little bit of tongue. Yeah.
It was just such a fun thing because
It was so fun.
we had Ward and Kid.
Yep.
On the stage, playing, and I know that was, I think, as I recall, it was a little bit of awkward, but not really.
Yeah.
But kind of, but not really. I don't know.
Just the right amount.
Like, right. Let's just all get on stage and do it. And I remember it was, other than the rehearsing part, which is never fun, but the shows were really fun.
Yes,
That show was
and Bob
fun.
Forrest was one of the other
Bob
vocalists.
Forrest, yes. Oh, yeah,
He
right.
sang "For the Love of Ivy," if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
I don't. This is all coming back to me after not thinking about it for a long time.
I have, I had video of the whole show.
Oh.
I don't know if I still do.
Wow, I'd love to see it.
I'm gonna
That'd be
have
so
to
much
look.
fun. Yeah.
I had somebody in the front row, center, and I just said, just hold the camera on your leg and don't turn it off. And when I watched some of it later, it was really good.
Yeah.
So I gotta dig that up. I gotta look
Yeah.
that
I'm sure people would love to. I mean, it's funny because now that is that's a time capsule, which
right?
is
I
weird
know.
how all this stuff ends up becoming this
Yeah.
ephemeral, interesting, like, that's a neat snapshot.
Well, just all the people involved, It's
Yeah.
like, wow.
That couldn't happen now.
You just go
Yeah.
off in so many different directions. And I think that's where you and I met, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that would have to have been
Yep,
that
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Climate, turbulence. Third, maintenance.
as can be seen in this Virginia City, Nevada home, built a century ago and still preserved in its original functional state, including its kitchen.
Consumed by a cancer of guilt.
hypnotize. The women he met beneath a blindfold in a tent, his heartbeat raced, taking in their scent. The great Thurston, that runaway kid got his start the day the circus came and stole his heart. The rising cards made him a star, his floating lady performed for czars. Chung Ling Soo, killed on stage, fans fled the theater in panic and rage. When the coroner's work was said and done, it revealed a yellow-faced man known as Robinson.
I wish to manifest by speaking the radio. Manifest yourself in any way possible.
Mr. Electric, he made his mark, making unexplainable objects light up in the dark. The girls would scream and the men would shout. Magic lost a hero when his light went out. February 1964, Fred Capps performing in Ed Sullivan's Lair. No chance he'd fail, no chance he'd flop, until four lads from Liverpool played yeah, 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 yeah. The Larsons, in their razzle-dazzle, turned a Hollywood brothel into a magic castle. Magicians flocked far and wide. The guests were mystified. They couldn't believe their eyes. Max Maven, renowned mentalist, gave parapsychology a brand new twist. Widow's peak and ghoulish eyes. Man, that cat could mesmerize.
Bessie, it is not any coming through. It is a stranger, a fraud. Bessie, you must...
Bright stars of magic, you will all shine on. Dolly Vernon, Cardini, Harlan Tarbell, Del Odell, Dante, Willard the Wizard, Carter the Great, Silent Dora, Virgil Julie, Blackstone Jr., Ione, Roy Benson, Harmon, Jonathan Masterman, David blah 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 blah.
On the roof of the Knickerbocker Hotel in Hollywood, California, on Halloween 1936, widow Bessie Houdini made every attempt possible to contact her departed husband, master magician Harry Houdini. What you're about to see is not a reenactment of that night. Jack is here, and we're reaching out to a magician of a different kind.
Jack, greetings, welcome.
Thank you, Zabrecky. It's great to be here.
Who is it that you wish to contact?
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, I see. Did you know the man?
No, never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I saw him live in concert in 1991, and it was the best concert I ever saw. He was definitely my favorite artist. A lot of people write great songs, but then when you see them live, you're like, eh. No. He had a magic. He had a charisma. And he represented all of us. In a way, it was like he was a godlike creature. It's like he was Jesus or something. It was like he stood for something beyond music. The downtrodden. He was a hero of something.
Something.
It was like all the bullies in the world. He was going to destroy them with the sheer force of his rock. And it was mighty. And it was a reckoning.
Where was this concert?
It was in San Francisco at the Warfield Theater, and I'll never forget, it was the night that Bill Graham died. They put it up on the marquee, and it was the best concert I ever saw. He had a magic, he had a charisma, and the songs were so damn good, and I've never felt an audience like that where everyone was on the same page. There was a writhing, undulating mass of movement in the pit, and you could feel the love in the room for what was happening. And there were songs that I had never heard before. He played Rape Me, which was not on any other albums yet, but it was immediately like the best song in the fucking world. Everyone smiling ear to ear, and just, it was like we were in Nirvana. We were all like high on this energy. It's like, fuck, it was orgasmic. That one was special. And you know what it is? I feel like Kurt Cobain was the last great rock star. When you go through the history of rock, there's not that many that changed the genre in a way. And and in a way, I feel like maybe he is the last great rock star, because in a way he was the best at the time, and he also destroyed the genre in a way. I don't even know if rock exists anymore. That's how good he was.
It was as if he was there to destroy rock and roll forever.
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 Now, Jack, did you bring something to help me with my work today? An offering of some sort?
I did. Brought a used lens wipe, also used for cleaning screens, like an iPhone screen.
Mm-hmm. That'll work. And Jack, please take the offering, place it inside of the box. Now it is very important that you do exactly as I say. Please take this bell, ring it 3 times like this. Your turn.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, Jack, please take my hands, just like this. Look into my eyes and know that if you believe, you will receive.
Summon the disembodied spirit of Kurt Cobain. Kurt, I'm joined now with Jack Black. Kurt, are you here?
What? Hi.
Jack, what would you like to ask him? really, I just want to hang out with them.
The more the merrier, an uncommon thing in this day and age.
Fine. Jack, do you have a question for Kurt? What are you listening to now? That's a very good question. Can you tell us what kind of music you're listening to now?
There's a sound. I don't know all the technical terminology for exactly how to explain it in different patterns. There are alpha and beta waves in your brain. Really amazing. It revolves in a circle all the time. Experimental with more noise and different effects boxes and stuff and weirder stuff. It's just like staring into the sun, but I can't demonstrate it because I have the wrong voltage. Everything will always revert back to melody. It's really neat.
Well, you painted quite a picture. Do any groups come to mind that might describe the sound you speak of?
Typical stuff. The Beatles. And the Germs. Black Sabbath. Bob Dylan. Like Gang of Four. Arnaldo Baptista. And White Flag. Red Cross. B-52 is Devo. The Raincoats and Kleenex and Iggy Pop. Jimi Hendrix. Heck, Sonic Youth. You know, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah.
My apologies. That does happen sometimes.
A total pain in the ass.
I won't entirely disagree.
Just deal with it. Is there an ashtray around here somewhere?
No, I don't see one.
The biggest dilemma of the day.
Of course.
Everything will always revert back to melody.
There are no more questions. There are no more answers.
That was a raunchy experience, you know.
All right, we're done.
Is that what Chris did?
It wasn't Chris.
No, is that what Chris did when Chris did Fire? Was Chris
no,
just like?
No, actually, he just. I don't think he knew what to do with the second one with Miami.
No, with the first one when he did Fire of Love, was it like?
Oh, Chris D.
Yeah, Chris
on
D.
Fire of Love.
Yeah.
No, he was because he trusted what we're doing, and we were all kind of like always kind of half in a pissed off mood anyway. So we just went in there and cranked it out in 6 hours.
That was just like the live set, just like doing it. Can I ask you something else?
Wait. So what happened?
Oh yeah, sorry.
all right,
yeah,
sad.
sorry.
Let's cry
Sorry.
first.
Oh God, there's so many questions.
I know. Well, so she got all this footage, little beta tapes, you know, had a bag, and we played in Manchester, a show, and during the show, the van was robbed, and they took all the tapes.
Oh.
Except for like 2, which I still have, and I donated that footage to the Hugh Hefner Library at USC just because a friend of mine runs it. No connection to USC otherwise. But, I mean, I have them, and there's some kind of fun stuff and a couple of pretty good shows on there.
Wow.
But
They've never been posted then, I presume.
hours and hours and hours of really good stuff all throughout Europe lost.
Wow.
Interviews with fans, taking the ferries from, here to there.
Wow.
All of it gone. Because all they could do was lecture us about our crime in America. And then we go over there and crime in Manchester, apparently, because I'm like, well, it never happened to me in the United States. And I asked a cop, I brought a cop. These fuckers, they're just clueless.
Yeah.
They're just disconnected. There's nothing they could do. They don't really have any kind of investigative body that would even go after it. How are we supposed to find him, basically? You know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I thought you were the police.
Yeah, it's your job.
Did you invent Sherlock Holmes? I mean,
Also, I wonder if it's all in a landfill or if somebody's just sitting on it. You know, they don't even know what it is, or they do know what it is.
Back
or-
then, it had to be PAL.
Yeah,
system,
I was thinking
EAL.
about that.
It was NTSC, obviously.
Yeah.
They couldn't even play it.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that. They didn't care. They just grabbed the bag. Not if they'd seen that there were tapes in it, they might not have even touched it. They wanted guitars. They got one of kids' guitars.
Oh my God.
They got a couple of spare hi-hat cymbals. They didn't get much.
Yeah.
But yeah, ever since then, I've thought that would have been the greatest gun club documentary I could have made. But I don't know. The universe said no.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, we're
gotta listen to the universe, because
Fuck the universe sometimes.
and fuck it all for sure. But you gotta listen to it.
I like the universe sometimes, but sometimes,
Yeah.
what a bastard.
It's a little controlling.
Anyway, so yes, we were talking about this is a kind of a major shift or a transition for you. I mean, you're still a musician at this time. Let's say, what sparked your interest in magic?
Well, I can tell you it very clearly. Was burned out of playing music, but still doing it, as most musicians come to a point in their career where, like, oh boy, this isn't what I signed up for. Oh man, why am I still doing this? But it's all you know. And if it was your childhood dream, like it was mine, I had zero. I didn't have a college education. I didn't have any. There was no other. I didn't have a parachute or a backup plan. It was that I wanted to be a musician.
I know what that feels.
Yeah, who doesn't, right? So that was it. So we're touring. Band Possum Dixon's touring in Baltimore, Maryland, one summer in mid-'90s, and we load our gear into a club. And I'm like, I'm gonna go do some sightseeing. I know John Waters is from here. I know they filmed some of the scenes from Pink Flamingos. I want to see where Divine ate the dog shit off the street. Like that to me was like, that was the greatest. Like that would have been the perfect afternoon for me to just come across that corner, because I've seen the movie enough to memorize, kind of what it looked like. And it's a hot afternoon. I'm walking around, and I got to cool off. It's just a hot summer day, and so I look around. There's like a shoe store and a post office, and that place has a air conditioner. What's that? Oh, Kenzo's Yogi Magic Mart. It's a magic store. And I walked in. I cooled off. I went, I'm in a magic store. This is weird. There's straitjackets and spray painted bunnies stenciled on wood things that made no sense to me. There's a man standing behind a glass counter, and he's bored out of his mind. And I said, hey, do you have a trick that I could buy to a couple hundred people to a nightclub down the street? And it was like a Twilight episode where he said, come here. And he took a little silk handkerchief out of his pocket, and he put it in his hand, and he vanished it and went away. And two things happened. I couldn't believe it was a miracle. It was amazing. And I'm the only person in the store to witness this. And two, that it was for sale. For $10, I could put this object in my pocket to vanish a small thing. So I buy the handkerchief and the object to vanish the handkerchief. I shove it in my pocket, learn the trick. That comes with the $10. That was the price to purchase this thing. And we're 3 songs into our set. It's after midnight. Our guitar player breaks a string. I remember I have this thing in my pocket to vanish a thing, but instead of vanishing this silk green handkerchief for 200 indie rockers, which didn't seem like it was going to go over well, I can't tell you how or why, but the words, anybody have a wrapped condom out there? Just came in, it just like came into my head. It's just out of the blue.
Right.
Someone throws up a wrapped condom.
Yeah.
I say, hey, everybody, watch this. Our guitar player's tuning up. I take it out, and very crudely, I put this thing in my fist, and it went away. And those 200 people were astonished and amazed.
There you go.
And as was I, I'm looking around like, wow, that was very strange. It was an aberration, but it worked in a way that was like, that was really fun. And they were amused by it in the same way that they would have been entertained by a song. Like they were watching me. It was like, as performers, we all have that kind of mom look at me thing. Like I'm doing the thing. Like I want attention, and I'm one of those people to some degree, as all performers are. And I remember thinking, okay, tonight, next night we're in New York City. So third song, you guys tune up. I'm gonna do the thing again. I'll ask for somebody to throw up a condom. I'll see if this plays twice. And they did. And someone throws up the condom. I put it in my fist. It vanished. Holy smokes. I'm like, I got some gold here. This is amazing.
This is something.
I got something. These guys can't do this, but I can do this.
Work on this.
Yeah. So then tour ends in New York. We drive back 3,000 miles. Every time we stop at a big city, I pick up a Yellow Pages magic store. I'm going, in Chicago, and what else do they have in these shops? We come back to L.A., and my girlfriend, who managed the Viper Room, the nightclub on Sunset Strip, since it's, opening, she's there, and she, as some of the perks of working at a nightclub, managing one, is you get invited to other clubs. You get comps for stuff. She goes, "Hey, I got a pass to go to this place, the Magic Castle. Want to go?" And I'm like, "I don't have," and I knew it was a dress code and the whole thing. Yeah. Like, all right, sure. I learned a magic trick. Like, yeah, of course I want to go see what's happening. And so cobbled together some form of a suit. I'm sure some grubby thrift store, ill-fitting suit and tie. And we walked in there together, and we're just marveling at the subculture. Like, it was literally like, almost like seeing the decline of Western civilization in 1980. We're like, the bags, Black Flag, Circle. What? Who are all these people? And what are and the germs? Darby Crack. Like, what is all this stuff? And you're like, Houdini, Chung Ling Soo, Thurston, Carter. Like, in a different way, cool, right?
Yeah.
Because but historically, it was all there, and there was rivalry, and there was conflict, and I saw the art in it, basically. Yeah. And that drew me to it like a moth to the flame. And I'm like, and being burned out of music, newly getting freshly sober, having issues with all the stuff that people in bands have. I was certainly victim to that. I couldn't wait to reinvent myself. I'm like, this is a new beginning.
That's so great.
I mean, and believe me, people in the Silver Lake scene in the world of what was going on musically thought, what is Zabrecky doing? This guy's lost his mind. He's doing magic tricks with the magic.
I know,
It was uncool. Yeah. At that time, particularly not a cool thing. Not that it even, some people would argue whether it's cool or not. I don't care about that. It's an art form, undeniably, like music is, right? But a lot of people don't see it like that, and especially in the mid-'90s when magic was stuck in the 80s of Siegfried and Roy, purple jumpsuits and lions, and like, they're going, what has this guy done? He's lost his mind. But I saw,
Were you ever tempted to get a lion?
Never.
Or tiger?
I wish I was.
Okay.
It was always like, for me, it was like, well, how can I infuse like my love of John Cage into this piece? Or what can I do to put like silent films, which I was kind of into. It's a subculture. Like, and I realized in magic you can write, produce, direct, and act like you can in music. Write your own music, however you want it to sound. You can do that. So my wife and I together worked on a Frankenstein character that infused Dada punk ethos. Right, like what is our version of a magician? And it turned out to be what I am today with all of it. So it just opened up this portal into another world.
Well, now at some point you must have. I mean, I think that is just such an amazing story. It's so cool, how one went from the other, but how one also, the same creative approach in one you can also do with the other, and I love that, and because a lot of times people see us doing a certain thing, and then that's like I was joking before about, do you still play drums? And it's like, well, no. I mean, I would like to, but I just don't. I'm doing this thing over here, and it's like, I don't care, because it's like, well, actually, this is just as artistically interesting, or it interests me, and it's really fun, and so you just end up creating a brand new audience.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And so there's all that. But now, as far as the meat and potatoes of that, so you went to the Magic Castle, so you must have been immediately interested in, how to become a member of this?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, all of it.
So what was going on in your head? Like, okay, how much work do I have to do?
All of it. Yeah, these people don't want me here, essentially. It was the other a part of it, like, at that point, the Magic Castle, the members were all in their 60s and 70s. It was the first wave. The club opened in 63, and those members were still kind of at large and roaming the club. There wasn't a young version, like it hadn't turned a leaf. And now when you go there, it's a lot of young people. And but at that point, it was very like conservative in a lot of ways. It felt like more like an Elks Lodge or a Mason kind of scene.
Yeah, right.
And it was great. The secrets were guarded. And here I come in, stinky indie rocker from Silver Lake. Yeah, and they're like, what's this guy doing? And I quickly put together an act that was a funeral director sort of thing. And it had a lot of dark twists and turns to it. And would get rejection letters. One of them said, with all the death and destruction in this world, please keep your act away from the Magic Castle. That was after 9/11. I got it somewhere at home. And you're like, oh, they didn't want me to, I had to fight for my place in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Eventually, Magic changed and the culture changed. David Blaine comes on TV wearing a T-shirt and jeans and a kind of a Lou Reed, pick a chord, and sort of the whole thing. It was a paradigm shift in Magic, as there, it's like when punk hit, right? So all of a sudden arena rock's not it, but it's as where arena rock would be the Siegfried and Roy, and the Ramones would be the more David Blaine. And these are very broad, and this is not the greatest analogies, but
very similar.
It's it's all I can do, But that's kind of what happened, and then over time, there was a little. I helped change a little bit of some of the changes that have been happening in Magic. Have come from people that go, "Oh, Zabrecky's carved his own way, and he uses Yoko Ono music or whatever to kind of."
That's got to feel so good.
It
to
does
actually create. I mean, out of nothing, literally, like you said, carving out your own niche in something that was pretty established.
It did feel really good because it was like it was very great. It's been great,
so
very gratifying. More so than music, because I think like we're in band, we're coming into bands and like, whoa, we're just going to rehash, the first version of Possum Dixon. I just wanted to be the Human Hands, the LA band.
Yeah.
Like I just loved it because they had keyboards and they would mix up. They were sort of this smart version of like what would be like sort of indie rock in some ways. And like I was like, how do you do that? And it was very like kind of picking and choosing your influences and styles and wanting to do that. But in Magic, those things weren't there. So I was like, I was really building it a little bit more from scratch, which felt a lot more like artistically, like it's polarizing. Some people really like it. Some people don't. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, you're kind of like a historian too. Like you have a big interest in the people that came before you. Was that something that a lot of people were other musicians, were your like contemporaries at the time when you got into that? Were they into the old stuff too, or were they just kind of like?
Well, they were older magicians. Yeah, there were guys that were 20 years my age there was just the history of Magic was so fascinating. Just like getting into music, you're like, hey, that guy is playing drums for the Bags, but he's also in the Gun Club, and that's Frank, and you start going, and there's Keith, but he was in the Black Flag, and I was, and these labels, and Slash is, then you go, but then they got on Warner Brothers, and that's all these. It's this matrix that it's endlessly fascinating, and it's like and there's no end, and you never learn it all. Yeah. There's always more to it, and especially with Magic history, it just like. I love it. I love I give talks on seances from the 1920s and lectures on certain things just because I've just amassed all this knowledge, and 100 people really think it's cool. And as you know, like with your history in music, and yours as well for that matter, like it's a niche thing, but it's rich, and it's helped shape the culture of what, will go down in the history books as kind of like interesting, provocative.
And now you're a part of that.
A little bit.
You're going to be a part of that history. And now it's going to last forever, and you're helping to create that. I figured, well, you are literally helping to create it, but also bring it out so that other people can learn about it, that may not know. And that's it's just important, that you have that interest in the past, because it's just so important for perspective and to give, okay, here's what's going on today, but here's the foundation of that. Mm-hmm. It came from this.
Yeah.
And so why is it here? Well, it came from this. How did it get here?
Yeah.
I think and those are a lot of things that, we've all just kind of pieced together ourselves.
Yeah.
So are you a full-fledged member?
Oh, yeah. I have been for 25 years.
Okay,
and
there we go.
I served on the board of trustees there. We've helped make creative decisions for the club. And
that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
He's the establishment at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
you are those old guys that you saw in the beginning.
I'll tell you a funny story. So early on, going up to the club in my mid-late 20s, I'd be like, wow, that guy's been here forever. Oh, so is he. And now younger magicians and members will come to the club and go, there's Zabrecky. He's been here forever. And now I'm the guy. I'm like conveyor belt, as we all are heading towards the big drop. and I'm okay with it. It's kind of like, all right, I was
It's so impressive that you did that.
Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah. Well,
How
thank you.
impressive is that?
I don't know. It's a real weird thing for not having the childhood dream, like as we were obsessed with all, as kids in music, right? That was always the thing. And then all of a sudden one day I'm living somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that ever to happen.
Sure, of course not.
Which is kind of like nice in a way, because it does prove that, in life you just never know what can happen. And it opens the idea to marvel and wonder and like, geez.
It's that universe again.
Exactly. Just go with it, right?
Careful. Yeah, go with it.
Careful,
Go with
or else, yeah. But yeah, like you getting into writing even for that, and like finding an audience for that, going, oh, suddenly this guy, what kind of writer is he? Does the chop's good, and like, can I follow this guy as a writer?
He's excellent.
Yeah, of course he is. Way better writer than a drummer.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's just without. I was always competent. But if anyone asked me to do a drum solo, that's when I got sick and I had to go home.
Wow.
So,
but would anybody ever ask you to do a drum solo?
No, but I mean, there was a couple of times when it was like, we could use kind of an extended fill here. I'm like, bullshit. There's no need for an extended fill. My thing was always rhythm. So my timing was perfect. I never had to use a click track. In studio or anything like that. My timing was just solid. I love James Brown's drummer.
Yeah.
And just people like that, really simple. But fuck, that's hard to do for 5 minutes of a song.
Oh yeah.
Just keep that absolute steady. Ringo Starr. I mean, these guys are better than people think because they're able to do exactly what they're doing and do it, timing wise. But I mean, nobody ever asked Ringo to do a solo either.
No, but I will add to this. The drum fills on Fire Love, Sex Beat, for example, is it's like a machine gun. It is
because I was young, not on drugs. Because I never was.
So were you sober? Would you say, or
I was sober?
Okay,
but just young and angry.
Yeah,
allowed you to do that.
Because the drum, even on Miami and Las Vegas
really
Story,
fast.
even that title track, that jungly kind of intro.
Yeah, that was fun to come.
Was that looped or was that we actually just played?
No, I played the whole thing.
Wow,
through that because that song originally was completely different. It was just like a basic 4/4 kind of snare hi-hat thing, and what we had versions of every song. We had 3 different versions of Black Train, all of them really good, and I wish I had recordings of them. There was a slow kind of dreamy version of Black Train that was really fun to play, and we did it live a couple of times. But that song, I don't know, it was just in rehearsal. We were just like, let's read, what else can we do? And then that's when I just thought, you know what, it's tom-tom time. You know how ideas come to you and suddenly they're just there.
Yeah.
Just like boom, da boom.
But that drum beat in particular, very different than all the Fire Loves. Like you were, you were pretty much. It was like that bitch and snare, and
I was just holding on.
Yeah, or holding it all together, however you want to look at it. But that one was like it was a part. Like that is like songwriting credit to me. Like it really drives that.
Well, it was just simple and straightforward, but it seemed to work for the song.
Yeah,
and that was really fun to play live because I never threw me off. And once you get that down, it's just you don't even think about it. It just kind of comes out. But it's fun to do. But actually, so maybe just a really quick, in case anybody doesn't know, little tiny micro. What is the Magic Castle?
Oh yeah, of course. So Magic Castle is a private club for magicians and their guests, located in the Hollywood Hills. Established in 1963, total DIY scene. 2 brothers and one of the brothers' wives started this club, private organization, and it was the 2 brothers. It was their father had a bong hit dream to have a magic club somewhere in Los Angeles. He died he had a heart attack in his early 50s, and he passed. And it was his dream to have a magic club. So the 2 sons were television writers. And they were working at Hollywood and Highland in that beautiful sort of Gothic building.
Yeah.
And it looked down at 7001 Franklin, which was not too far from there, as you know, where the Magic Castle is on Franklin. Yeah. And they saw this dilapidated old house. This is the late 1950s. And they said, that's the house where Dad wants us to have the universe, Terry was saying, there.
No,
Yeah.
I never knew that. How
I know.
fantastic.
So they knocked on the door. The house was built in 1908. It was a French chateau style mansion. Was a private residence till 1940. Roland B. Lane was a banker, pre-silent film. This guy comes in, banker, real estate magnate. He passes in 40. It turns into an apartment complex. It was a brothel for a short period of time. There was an apartment complex next door to it. Tex Watson lived there for Little Manson. Action fits into this weird story. That of course, as we're in LA, that goes away. The house stays, and 1963, the club opens as a private club for magicians and their guests. It's a hit on the scene, like The Mask, I would say. Wow. People would flock there from nearby, and actually even from New York. People were coming from Canada, and it became the mecca for magicians. And David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, all these people would cite like this place is a lot. Ricky Jay, all the kind of big heavy hitters would cite it as like the place.
Well, it's such a cool. I've been there twice as a guest.
Yeah,
and it's just so fantastic.
It's fantastic.
You know, you walk inside that, and it's like different world. It's instant respect for what this is.
Yeah,
because it just, I mean, it just feels like that. You just instantly are wrapped up in it. The environment and the vibe and everything, and God, it's so cool. I wish I knew somebody that could, help me get into it.
Yeah, I don't know. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. But
I might know someone. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You can go.
Yeah,
you can go
if you
online.
hear of
If you go
anything.
online, you can usually buy. They sell passes illegal on eBay and stuff. But it always feels great because you get dressed up. It's this whole.
I like that too.
There's the whole idea of you go there to have a good time, right? So you're like prepping yourself to step back in this. It's like going to Musso and Frank or something. You're gonna.
Yes,
You're gonna.
exactly.
You kind of know you're gonna have a great time when you go to these places because, you're prepped in some ways for it.
No, I want to go back. If you hear of anything,
I will keep you posted. I
say
think you got an in.
The side door's open.
Exactly.
Hurry, run.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to do this. Well, I'm serious. But I love that. I'm just kind of fascinated by those things, and I think sometimes I wish I had put a little effort into learning some of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because if you're fascinated by something, you'd like to try your hand at it.
Of course.
And I just think it's. That's why I think it's so impressive.
Yeah.
What you've done with that, and then
Well,
you've
thank you.
created this whole unique.
Yeah, well, it's performative. Obviously, it's performative. So you go, all right. Well, if you're learning the drums, is sitting down and doing this for a few hours, or guitar, learning your riffs or whatever. It's muscle memory, and it's being comfortable doing this, and then you're writing a script with it, or you're pouring it to a piece of music or whatever. And it is like anything, repetition, and it's just it's like writing. I guess it's just like rewriting, right? Like just now chiseling it down. What am I trying to say here in so few words or movements, and the economy of time and space, and using it.
And then like you said, you
It's a
chisel
thing.
it. You chisel it.
You
That's
chisel
exactly
it,
what it
and it's progress. And it's like I say in recovery, it's progress, not perfection. There's no, you do it's like a rock show. Like, I got 80% of it ish, and I think performances are.
Are
like
we
that.
ish? We're ish.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly. When I was, I thought I would write a book. I'm like, well, I've never written a book. Do I need to know how to write a book before I can write a book? No, you just start writing, and then you can tell. And I sent stuff to friends who are really critical and honest. And I thought, oh, fuck, they're going to kill me. But at least I'll know if this is worth pursuing. And so if you get a little encouragement there, then you keep going.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it can't be perfect.
Right.
Even now when I look back, I mean, all of us, we think of a piece of music we did or played or recorded. I could have done that a little bit. I could have edged that, I could have done a 20-minute drum solo. Fuck, why won't anyone let me do that?
Yeah.
The difference guitar players.
Sure. I mean, I think the difference between as musicians, like, so you record a record, right? And that becomes the document, or you're in a movie and that becomes, you're locked in that time. You're always going to be at the Hong Kong cafe sitting behind whoever, and that little thing.
Tell
like,
me about it.
Right? Yeah. And you're that little sliver, and that's it. But in a live performance thing, you can't always, it's an ephemeral thing, oftentimes not taped, not recorded, so people, it's in their memory, so they're not looking back or listening to it, but they're watching this thing, and they'll remember it, and sometimes that's even better.
They do, right, because it's happened to all of us.
Yeah.
How many little snippets or memories or little things do we have? I mean, it's just an endless list.
Yeah.
Things that have inspired us, and like, no, take that next step.
Right. And sometimes we remember them even better than what they were, or lesser. Like, it's funny how the memory will be like, wow, that time we were watching that band, maybe it wasn't even that great, but for some reason it's like...
It serves what we want to do at that time.
Exactly.
It serves that forward movement that we're searching for, even if we don't know we're doing that. It's still...
I agree with you 100%.
It gets us somewhere. Oh, man, Rob, it's just totally impressive story.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I think it's great. And you were really fun to be on stage and play bass with. And
likewise, that was a high point for me, for sure.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know how those things are going to turn out. It's like, next person, next singer. But
that was a hit. No, that was real. I mean, look, I was floating on a cloud for that for a long time. And it's funny, I think since 2007, I think it is very safe to say Gun Club has gotten cooler and cooler. Very well remembered. Newer bands come out.
Weird.
It's the cult of Jeffrey Lee and at least the first wave. I'd say up until first three records. I mean, up until Las Vegas. I mean, Mother Juno.
There's a couple of good ones
for sure.
That.
For sure. But like those first three are like, for a lot of people, you still see people wearing Fire Love shirts. You go out to Zebulon, it's not uncommon to see be driving on the 405 freeway and seeing Gun Club stick. You kind of go. It's like the mystique has grown beautifully over time, and I love it. To me, it's like I just love the memory of that band being remembered forever.
I know it's the most surprising thing to me of all. So I can't.
Wow, that's interesting to hear. Yeah,
I do get people over the years, but particularly in the last decade. Well, I mean, it's always that right to me, and just out of nowhere, and I was gonna off myself, but somehow an album full of murder songs kept me alive. I don't know how that works, but I don't know what to say except fuck. I'm so glad that we did that, because trust me, we had no idea. We recorded the album and we were like, okay, it's time to break up. Let's get as far away from this as possible.
Which creates a whole fucking cool ass mystique about the greatest bands. Like, it was a perfect. It just dissolved so beautifully.
A weird thing,
and that never converged. There's no reunion shows. Ward is off on the other side of the world now. Rob is long gone. Jeffrey's, of course, long gone, and you're.
Well, if Jeff is still here, though, I know we would have made up. We always did. I met him 2 months before he died. I hadn't talked to him in many years, because he did say a bunch of stupid things and that were lies about my girlfriend and at the time, and whatever. It's just Jeff being bellicose, and but it's kind of like when you're sort of a family that we started off, in 1976 and 7 together. I don't know, that always was a connection that I couldn't deny. And so it brought us back in bed together. And I went with somebody, and I don't even know why we went to the Viper Room. And Jeff was there. I had no idea. And I just said, oh my God, that's Jeff. And after hearing so much about, he's looking terrible and he's blah, 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 I looked at him, I go, well, he doesn't look that bad. He looks pretty good to me. What's the deal? He's not really particularly overweight. I walked up to him and I just stuck my hand out and he shook it.
Wow.
And we talked a little bit, and he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just here for a little bit.
Because you were in Texas at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, but, I'm coming back. And so he said, well, let me give you my card. So he pulled out a card, and it just said on one side, show business. That was it. There was no number. There was no address. It was just show business.
God.
And I still have that card.
Wow.
And he died 2 months later.
Oh.
And
he was, so I tell you, you would have seen him there because Keith was, I think for a short period, employed at the Viper Room doing promo stuff, calls. And Jeff, and I know this because Tommy, my wife, was there working. She was the manager of the thing. And Keith would come in, friends with Johnny, Bob Forrest, all those.
Right.
It was that little.
All that group.
All that
yes.
group. And Jeffrey, my wife's got great stories, just kind of made it his office. He'd come in with his bag, and just spread out all his papers and making calls to Japan, trying to get stuff going.
Sure.
And she said it was pretty magnificent.
Yeah.
So so he was, very resourceful and a very good writer. I know he was a music critic before.
Quite good.
All of that, his reviews and like Slash or
Slash,
a lot. Yeah.
Oh, he was excellent.
Yeah.
The guy was truly had some very, very high IQ. He's
No
just
doubt. Yeah.
Super smart.
Yeah.
And talk about a collector of records and just the ability to, scour thrift stores in the late 70s, even though there was a lot of that stuff out in Goodwills and Salvation Armies. The ability to go and know what to find and then start connecting dots so early on and then come back to rehearsal with this incredible eclectic, list of influences. It was just nothing but impressive. I mean, Bass Freddie and those people also equally amazing with all of that. Really knew their history.
Yeah.
Again, history.
Yeah.
They took that, brought it here. You're taking history, you brought it there, made something out of it.
And here we are.
I love it. Rob,
and Chuck, I'm sorry this was so much Zabrecky and not enough Kelley.
Oh, that's fine.
I also said jump. You knew that coming into it.
Yes.
The record says so, but all right. We'll have to.
The records.
We'll.
You guys. Well, are you doing anything on the magic side coming up?
Always. Yeah. Always a ton
things
of
are
stuff.
coming up.
Yeah, things
and
are coming.
So if you hear of somebody that I could maybe.
I will.
Especially if it's at that. What's it called? The Magic Building.
The Magic Hassle.
The Castle.
Hassle.
Right. Magic Hassle.
The Magic Hassle.
Yeah. I will let you know. Yeah.
Thanks.
Of course.
I appreciate that, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Boom.
Thank you.
But
Thanks,
I brought a little sleight of hand. I thought we could maybe reconfigure something. I could share a little piece that I'm working on that you might find of interest or of interest to your viewers. So.
Let's do that.
Could a computer be designed for easy ground and air maintenance?
The 19th century's age of iron and steel made cooking by brick hearth obsolete.
For just 1 second, your conscience pricks as you see the needle inserted and the death-dealing liquid slipping in and mixing with Michael's blood.
All right. Well, if you're stupid, what you're about to see here will scare you. But if you're smart, it'll make you happy. An antique cup, 3 mysterious wads of matter, and a man having an existential crisis. Now, 2 of the wads simply go inside of the cup. 1 of them is removed. And watch this. 3 remain. I'll do this for you one more time so it makes even less sense. There is 1 and 2. The 3rd goes inside of the pocket, and yet 3 remain. Well, by now you're probably wondering, how is he doing this? Or why is he doing this? Or why do anything? Why do birds suddenly appear? Why is abbreviated such a long word? Who put the alphabet in alphabetical order? All we know is that when 2 of the wads go in the cup and 1 go inside of the pocket, there will still always be 3. Is it too late for me to be, say, a cowboy or an astronaut? Or is this, and all of you here tonight, my purpose? Oh, don't you worry. I put this 1 away, and there will still be 3. I know. Mathematics. 1 plus 1 minus 1 is 3. But then, of course, there's the big question, you see, which is, why are we here on this massive rock, spinning through infinite space, floating around a massive ball of fire in the sky that's both trying to keep us alive and kill us? So maybe it's time we put these questions aside and stop trying to answer questions that we'll never find the answers to.
These and other problems were all finally solved by unique design and by employing the basic principle of modular construction.
Relatively cheap and efficient iron ranges could be readily installed in the most modest pioneer cabin or city dweller's apartment.
For a moment you want to say no, but the will to resist is gone.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe that there is nothing up my sleeve? I appear before your eyes without deception or disguise. Let's find the magic words together as one. Presto, changeo, it is done. Please and thank you. Hocus pocus. Come on, people, focus, focus. Because if we concentrate now, we can do it. Put your heart and your soul into it. Anything you want is at your command. Open sesame, promised land. Abracadabra, simsalabim. The magic words are moonlight hymns. Alakazam, Kalamazoo. How about bippity boppity boo? Supercalifragilistic. No. It's got to be simplistic, you see. Maybe all we need to do is tell each other, I love you.
You know, yeah, we're of an age of, we had our fun, and Chuck and I from, about the same age, and
give it back.
Yeah, it's fun. We still make music for fun and are having to go at it in some ways, but without no expectations of like, playing Winterland or anything like that,
Well, here's the thing. A lot of these people will express to you how much they appreciate it. If you, What the fuck am I doing?
Where are you going?
You lit the candle and you just put it out. Like any crazy person would, including myself.
Well, I don't want to step outside my boundaries and do something, that makes sense. That was good.